All right, welcome back for the Star Trek rewatch that I do here every Thursday. I watch an episode of Star Trek the original series, read the summary from Alan Asherman's Star Trek Compendium, and then give a few of my thoughts and feelings on the episode, and then leave things open to you in the uh, comments section to let me know what you think. So here we go. This is the Doomsday Machine. This is the sixth episode of season number two, the 35th episode overall. The first draft for this came out on May 10th of 67. The episode was filmed in June of 67 and was broadcast on October 20th, 1967. The writer was Norman Spinrad, who was a writer that was known for his science fiction novel The Solarians, which was published in 66. And his best known novel is called Bug Jack Barron, which was published in 1969. So he turns in a script here. The director was Mark Daniels. The composer was Sol Kaplan. Sol Kaplan here has some brass strings and percussion, piano. Really good score for this one. Pretty dramatic. The photographic effects for this episode were done by Cinema Research Corporation. Summary. Investigating the destruction of several planetary systems, the Enterprise discovers the crippled starship Constellation. Commodore Matthew Decker, the Constellation's captain, is discovered in a state of shock. He is the only person left aboard the ship. So, Commodore Decker here is played by William Wyndham, who starred in a lot of television in the 1960s and 70s. He was in The Twilight Zone. He was in The Night Gallery. Um, he had a small role in Escape from the Planet of the Apes as the President of the United States of America. So he turns in his performance here as Commodore Decker, kind of like a real Captain Ahab type performance, like obsession in wanting to destroy the Doomsday Machine that took out his crew, kind of like Ahab's quest to destroy the White Whale. But he's the only person aboard. With his ship severely damaged, Deckard had transported his entire crew down to a planet that has since been destroyed by the giant destructive agent, a berserk planetary killing weapon, which was constructed by a long dead alien race. While Kirk and a party stay aboard to repair the Constellation's engines and weapon systems, Decker is beamed back to the Enterprise with Dr. McCoy. And then he assumes control. Let's see. The guilt ridden Decker takes command of the Enterprise and attempts to use the starship to confront and destroy the planetary killing device. Kirk contacts the Enterprise and enables Spock to take command away from Decker. He orders Spock to take command from Decker. Okay, there are an attempt made when Decker assumes command under Starfleet regulations. Spock basically has to allow him. He has a great line where he says, Decker says he's going to attempt to destroy it, and I think Spock says you something to the effect of, I would advise against it. You've already done this once, and the result was a wrecked starship and a dead crew, which is like, whoa. It was pretty great line by Spock. But they want to remove him for being mentally incompetent. Like a psychological evaluation, Spock says would be necessary, and Bones basically says he hasn't had time to do that. So Spock says it wouldn't stand up. So Decker does assume control, but Kirk does talk to Spock and orders Spock to assume control of the Enterprise. Okay, so that's a great scene. Um, the Commodore then steals a shuttlecraft after he beats the crap out of a red shirt. I mean, that guy got throttled, and then he launches himself into the planet Killer. I'm not exactly sure what the intent was here to drive the shuttlecraft into the creature's mouth. It's Maul, I guess, but Decker dies. His strategy, however, inspires Kirk to rig a self-destruct switch on the constellation. It's got like a 30-second delay. He's going to overload the engines, causing a massive, like 80 megaton explosion, nuclear explosion. And then he's going to send the damaged ship, like I said, into the alien device. A transporter malfunction almost prevents Kirk from escaping the constellation in time. So Scotty has to crawl him up inside of like a Jeffries tube and fix the thing. So it's a tense moment where Kirk is there. He's tripped the switch. He's all like, "Gentlemen, I suggest you beam me aboard now." And then they're able to engage at the last second. Scotty comes through and Kirk survives just before the Doomsday Machine is blown up along with the constellation. Pretty great. Pretty great episode. This is a favorite of mine. I've always liked this one. I don't know what it is about it. The Doomsday Machine itself looks like a giant, I don't know, cornucopia. I sometimes refer to it as the cornucopia of doom. Um, it's really a kind of a simple design. The planetary miniature is really just kind of a, let's see, what do they say it here? It was animated and matted in the center of the model, but it's just a cone. I don't know if it's like paper mache, spray painted or what, but it's really low tech. But somehow it does look menacing. I can't quite explain it. I've never really liked the CG version that was done in the remaster. I think it looks more menacing in the original 1960s prop. It just looks better for some reason. So I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. Now Wyndham here, William Wyndham, I think his performance is really great. I think originally what I heard was that Robert Ryan was going to be Commodore Decker, and for whatever reason he wasn't able to do it. So they got William Wyndham here, and I think the guy is amazing. He turns in a really great performance. Um, I don't really have a whole lot else to say about it other than the lack of no Uhura this week. We have Lieutenant Palmer, and in my head canon, I guess I'm thinking because I have some experience in the service. I'm thinking maybe she's on temporary assigned duty. Maybe they sent her off to a star base or whatever, and Palmer is here to kind of fill in for her while she's gone to get some additional training, or maybe she's assigned to another ship, or like I said, at a conference or something. So that's how I justify it in my head. That's why she's not here. Now I don't know why she's not here in real life. I didn't look into the reasons why, but having crew members like go on TAD, temporary assigned duty, is a common thing in the service. So that's my justification for it. Other than that, I don't have a whole lot to say about this one. Scotty gets his moment in the sun. I think it's great. We get some great stuff with Spock. We get some great stuff with, McCoy. Of course, Kirk. I don't know, man. It's just a good one. I don't think we have Chekhov, so no Chekhov, no Uhura. That's the drawback of this one. But we get Sulu. Sulu gets some, pretty cool shots where he's reacting to the Doomsday Machine. Some reaction shots where he's looking at Commodore Decker and Spock bickering back and forth on their orders when they're kind of jockeying to take command. Like Spock gives an order to do 180, go away from this thing, and then Decker says like contramands it, and Sulu doesn't know like he knows what to do, and then Decker assumes control, and George Takei, just his eye shot, his reaction scenes to that, really great stuff. So I really like this one a lot. It's always been a favorite of mine. So what do you think about it? Let me know below in the comments section. I'm going to wrap things up here, and we'll be back next week with another episode. Final wrap up, kill crew death tally. No crewman deaths this week. I don't count Commodore Decker because he was from the Constellation. So our death total stands for the entirety of the series at 34 crew member deaths. Till next week, when I see you again, live long and prosper.